Okay, here we are showing how to replace the fan in a mini split unit, and the fan came nicely wrapped in a box, so it's safe. I think we have to inspect this before we install it. Okay, there it is. So it's out of the wrapping. So the things we want to look for are cracks in the blade, and everything looks good here. Obviously we'll go through it a bit more carefully. So here we just removed the filters from the unit, and we are going to take the screws off. As you can see, there's a screw right here, and there's another screw right in the corner right there. And then there will be, on some units, you'll actually have additional screws up here, here, and here. But this one doesn't have the extra screws, so it'll make it really easy to remove. And then we just have to pop it off at the bottom, and then the top will come out very easily. Yeah, so that's where it comes apart. And then we just jerk it right off the wall. There it goes. So the whole thing comes out, and then you want to like articulate it upwards, so just keep going up. There it is, and that's how it comes off. Back here, the top actually pops into these things right here, and that's why you have to either push down on those tabs, or you just pull out at the bottom so everything moves out of the way on its own. Okay, next what we have to do is we have to remove the condensate drain pan and the controls. We also have to find the set screw on the fan, which is up in there, and we'll have to there's a set screw inside on the shaft, and then we'll have to remove these screws right here. I think there are 3 that will allow the entire coil, which is right about here, to pop off this frame, and that will allow us to remove the fan bushing from here, and we'll pull it out and down, and with the set screw removed, everything will come right out. Next we'll remove these tabs right here. This will allow us to remove the condensate pan. Okay. And this right here has a few little tabs that can be removed. Let's see, up here on the side. There it is. And then the drain pan is a bit harder to remove, but it comes out pretty easily. Or is it a piece? Yeah, that's the piece of the fan that got broken. So you want to lift up the coil off the frame here. That allows you to remove the drain pan. And it's coming down very gently and slowly right here. Oops, like that. Okay, so that's ready. Now we just have to find the set screw, and the way you find the set screw, if you get a bit closer, there's this bigger gap here. So we're just going to stick a long screwdriver through there. I like to do it by hand, and not with. There you go, you got it. Is it too long? I mean, too big. Yeah, that's too big. So maybe we can try the screw gun. It'll just have to be done very carefully. Oh, let's see if that's too big too. Yeah, it is too big. I need a very skinny screwdriver, so I'll go get one from one of the other tool bags. So a skinny screwdriver like this will actually fit in between the fins, and takes quite a bit of pressure, unfortunately. Okay. Pause that for a sec. So this one seems to work at the right tip. Let's see. Just a Phillips number 2, but it has to be just the right thickness. So I'm going to loosen this up. You don't want to take the screw all the way off, but now it's sliding back and forth, so it's ready to go. And next step will be on this end. We have lifted the coil off the frame, and now we lift the grommet on the fan out of its socket, and then you come down like this, just a few inches, and then you just keep coming all the way out. And as you can see, this is the area that got cracked. We most likely will have to reuse that grommet unless the new one comes with the grommet. Let's check that out. Okay, so this is what it's shipped with, this protective item. So we're going to get the old grommet, which is like a bearing basically. You set that in there, and here we can see the new set screw. What I like to do to make it easier on myself, I will keep this facing me, and I will make sure that if this has a flat spot on the shaft, it's facing me, but it doesn't, unfortunately. So honestly, anywhere it'll be okay. I'll just make sure that as I move it back and forth, it's going to be centered on that area of the shaft that's meant for the screw. So now I have to find that shaft right here. There it is. We're going to push that in a little bit, and then there it is. And then the grommet will sit right in this track, and now I can go ahead and screw that tight right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it close, and as it gets close, I'll move it left to right to make sure I'm in those grooves. Yeah, see how it's stopping? I know I'm in those grooves, so I'll go ahead and find a center spot and make this hand tight, you know, fairly tight, but not extreme. Yeah, a little bit of pressure, so that's done. Next, we're going to push this back up where it goes, and obviously there are little channels here if you want to get closer here, so these have to go properly on this grommet, so it takes a little bit of attention to detail, but for the most part it'll just go by itself. I'm going to push this coil back into its spot, which seems to be, let's see, right about here. Okay, now the screw holes align. Maybe I'll start by putting those in, or I can just go ahead and get this popped in there. And this will go up in here just perfect. Let's see. Okay, we need those screws down there if you don't mind. So, I'll just go ahead and get the screws started over here. I can get closer down to show you something down. You get on the side so it's visible as well. A couple of things to keep in mind over here is that this grommet has to fit in there perfectly. There's a set point right here that has to go in perfectly, and then this condensate trap has to fit in this groove just perfectly. So if you keep an eye on those little details, everything should go back together without any glitches, and you should have good airflow, good drainage, no bypass or no leaks. I worked on a random brand the other day, I forgot the name of it, it's like some online brand, and there's a lot of leakage because it wasn't put together very tightly. So one of the nice things about Mitsubishi, everything goes together perfectly, so there's a lot of advantages when it comes to efficiency, comfort, and how you work with the unit. So now that everything is up into place, we're going to go down here and press these tabs where they go. And let's see here. Maybe I should have not tightened this all the way until I got that in there properly. So I'll loosen this up a little bit. So now you can learn from my mistake not to do the same. You want to make sure your tray is perfectly in place. Okay, that's easy enough. Everything lines up perfectly there. Then we'll go ahead and tighten these three screws again. And next is just reassembling the sensors and the display over here. And because these screws go into plastic, you don't want to over tighten them. It would be really bad to strip them. Okay. Then these screws, this just gets popped into here nicely. Good spot. And from now on, we just have to install the louvers. You start with the right side, and you pop. You're gonna get closer so we can see this. We pop this into place. That's good. And then over here on this side again. Pretty much in the reverse order of when we took them out. And next will be the whole case. Next we're going to put the whole face back on. And you want to start at the top. And if you come up here, I'll show you at the top why it's important to start there. Like I said earlier, there are about 4 tabs on this unit. Some of them have more. And you just basically have to, oops, second. It looks like I caught this down the line. There it is. So you just pop these in here. And then right there. So everything is nice and even all the way across the back. And then the next steps will be to put in the screws at the bottom. And everything went in here just nicely. And then this has to go in just like that. There's a little bit of a snapping sound to it. Here you go. So anyway, this is all good to go. We'll put these screws in, and next we'll turn the unit on to test the operation. And hopefully this new wheel will be balanced out and running smoothly. Awesome. If you have any other questions, feel free to send them our way. Any other comments or suggestions are welcome as well.